Hello, welcome to kind of this extra update. I'm making this because I got a question about how hitboxes work and how I implemented them in my game, and that's definitely something I struggled with before too. Um, Hitboxes can definitely seem very complicated and overwhelming, especially because right each attack can be so complicated, right? Their hitboxes move around so much and stuff like that. The approach I took is definitely not perfect, but it does work. It You'll see in a bit of how I came to this, but basically, it's based off the observation that hitboxes are actually pretty simple most of the time. So here we have hitboxes for Ryu. I pulled up on a YouTube video. Um, and let's just take a look at like what kind of hitboxes or like what kind of boxes are kind of getting spawned and not spawned, right? So currently the green, right, the green here, right, is Ryu's hitbox or Ryu's hurtbox. Um, you can see that covering his foot, right, when he extends. But right, you can see the movement of them, right? It's pretty. It moves around a little bit, right? Definitely, but it doesn't move around so much. And then the other thing we see is the guard box, where if you the blue, let me the not the blue, the yellow box right here, right? If you block within this yellow box for the opponent, right, then they will go into this guard state, so they can't move. And then the other is the hitbox, right? The hitbox is usually pretty simple, actually, right? It's usually only one box, right? It spawns and despawns, right, within kind of few frames of them, of it appearing, and when it hits the other opponent, they either right cause the other person to block or cause the other person to get hit. So the way I have this implemented in my game is very right. It's just based off that. Let me see. So I spawn the hitbox on a certain frame, and I delete the hitbox on a certain frame, right? So here we can see that I have this macro here that automatically creates a hitbox for me. So I have a class called hitboxes that can either be right hitboxes, the guard box, the hurt box, or the throw hitbox. And right here, when the attack starts, right? I think this is the large slash attack, right? Let's see. Yeah, so it's this attack, right? So you can see, right? You can see this guard box here. So I've coded them green, yellow, and red based. So green is the hurt box, yellow is a guard box, and red is a hitbox, right? So I simply spawn the guard box, spawn the hitbox, and then despawn both of them at exactly the same time, actually. So I spawn the hitbox right here. I give it. So the question is, you want to actually spawn them in a specific place, right? So I have a hitbox arrow here. Attack 1. So when you go to the viewport and I click on this, right? So you can see the arrow here, and you can place them anywhere you like. And the way I have my hitboxes structured is that it actually spawns from the lower left corner. So when I spawn a hitbox here, that's, for example, 20 high or like 10 high and 20 across, right? It will spawn. It's actually the center left. So it will be 5 this way, and then 20 straight out. And you can just move those around however you need to, and then you have a specific arrow for that attack that you can spawn hitboxes in at a specific location. You don't have to mess with locations that much, and you can kind of modify them exactly based on right your sprite and stuff like that. So you're not fiddling around with it like -1, -2, and stuff like that to get it in the exact right place. So it spawns the guard box, and it spawns, and then just spawn, right? So it's actually super simple, right? It spawns the guard box, and spawns the hitbox. And the thing you want to make sure because when you're in the air, right, the character can move, so you have to attach them. You have to basically attach them to your actor, right, to that character, so that it moves along with them as they move. Right, because you don't just want to attack and then right your hitboxes is like flying behind you or like flying above you while you're falling down and stuff like that. And that's kind of basically it. I have few other things that I've added, like this set here that lets me despawn all the hitboxes when I need to. So if you get hit, right, you despawn all your hit and hurt box. So you just go into guard state. And so the thing I have right now is that actually there is this character there's this Capsule Collider for my BP dude here that basically handles the basic hit information. So if you get hit, let's see, it makes more sense for VP Dude if I can find it. Right, so there's this Capsule Collider that basically handles your hit, right? So if you hit it, then if it overlaps with this, you will get hit. And then you can spawn additional hurt boxes that extends your hurt box, basically. And then currently the throw box is currently the hitbox, so that's something I might want to change later to make the throw range shorter and stuff like that. But yeah, so the other thing to look at is that once you're spawning these hitboxes, if I can find them, then you just need your hitboxes to trigger, right? To trigger the damage. Let's see if I can open up BB hitbox. So the nice thing about BP hitbox is that I have this like logic up here. So I have encapsulated every type of hitboxes into in here. So I set the material based on exactly what type it is. So if it's so this is gonna be red, yellow, green, and blue for the hitboxes. And then basically I just check when begin overlap. So when you begin overlapping, you need to check whether you're hitting the other player. So I actually have this thing called owning player that owns the hitbox, right? So that's the player that spawned it, and if you collide with another BP dude that is not yourself, right, then you want to trigger the damage system. And the other thing is that for guarding, right? So basically you need to trigger. I have this function in BP dude that's called start blocking that increments my block or like overlap block counts by 1, so that when you have a hitbox overlapping you, right, the character is going to go into guard state, which just stops him from moving, so it's called in block range. So the more boxes you have in block, so if it's the number of boxes you have that is in block range is greater than 0, then you go into guard state. And then when they leave, these are here too. So when you leave, basically you stop blocking, so you subtract 1 from the block, from the in block range, and then when it's 0, then you're going to stop blocking. And then there's some other stuff with the damage cache that lets you hit each other at the same frame and stuff like that, but that's less important. But that's just kind of just of how it works, right? It's trying to be very simple. I've actually pulled up another example here. So you don't have to be Skullgirls, right? Skullgirls here have like 17 bajillion hitboxes or like hurt boxes for the character, and like everything is like really very detailed. And I don't have a system to implement something like that yet, and I think that will probably be a lot more work that I want to right now in terms of getting all these detailed hitboxes to work. So I just go with something super simple, right? In a fighting game, right, if you look at Street Fighter V, right, all these hitboxes are super simple. They don't right, there's like 5 boxes on the screen, right, and people will think that's fine, right? So as long as they match some of the animation, you don't have to get them to be super detailed. And since the game is not 3D also, then you just kind of right, so you don't have these kind of nice properties of where, right, you check your overlap on your models. That's really not needed, right? You just want something very simple that's 2D and works for you. So yeah, so these hitboxes are probably super complicated to code up. I'm sure they have some sort of system in terms of creating these and then translating them into a script or translating into some data that you can input into your character. I don't have that. Keep it simple, keep it functional, and yeah, that's kind of it.